our colleagues, almost 10 of our colleagues. The Senate, being aware that Section 7 of 1999 Constitution as amended, guaranteed the system.
Senator, you are coming under
41
and
51.
Okay, so actually, the Senate colleagues, we all approve that you should bring it up today. So is it the view of the Senate that he be allowed to proceed? Those in favor say aye, and those against say nay. The ayes have it. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President, to prevent and stop implementation of action of state governments using their state house of assemblies to enact laws that breach constitutional provisions, as well as Supreme Court judgment of 11th of July 2024 that granted financial autonomy to our local governments in line with the provisions of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. This motion, as I said earlier, is being sponsored by my humble self and more than 10 senators of Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Senate, being aware that the Section 7 of our 1999 Constitution as amended, guaranteed the system of democratically elected local government system, by which the council, local government councils, explicitly provides for them in the Constitution for their financial autonomy, both financial and administrative. Further aware that the Supreme Court of Nigeria on July 11th, being Thursday 2025, delivered a landmark judgment wherein they ruled that all funds due to local governments in Nigeria, 774 local governments for that matter, from the federation account must be paid directly into the accounts of local government and no longer through state and local government joint account system, thereby affirming the constitutional provision that granted financial autonomy to local governments. This ensured that local government councils operate without undue interference or control from state governments. Senate is aware and concerned that despite these constitutional provisions and the binding decision of the Supreme Court, few state governments, through their respective state House of Assembly, through their different state House of Assembly, seek to enact laws, while some have already enacted laws and continue to take action that undermine the financial autonomy of local governments, thereby breaching the constitutional provision 1999 Constitution as well as the judgment of the Supreme Court. The Senate further concerned that the modus operandi of subverting this financial autonomy of local governments by state government through the House of Assembly is to insert clauses in their state laws that require local governments upon receipt of this federal allocation from federation account to remit all or majority or substantial part of the allocation to a dedicated account, which the state government will keep on controlling, managing, and disburse as they like, using nomenclature like state to local government joint account system, state to local government consolidated revenue, as well as state joint security trust accounts. Senate acknowledges that local government council are a vital third tier of government, serving as the closest form of governance to the people, and the financial autonomy is critical to the delivery of public services, infrastructure and developmental projects at the grassroots level. Senate further recognizes that the Supreme Court, being the apex law of the land, these decisions are final and binding on all authorities, persons, including state government and state legislative bodies. The Senate is disturbed that few of these state governors or state governments continue to manipulate the State House of Assembly to enact laws that violate the financial autonomy of local governments in direct contravention of our Constitution as well as Supreme Court decision of 11th July 2025, thereby stifling local government system as well as government in them. The Senate is worried that these actions by the state governments and the House of Assembly, not all, few of them, if unshaped, will, in words of the Supreme Court judgment, suffocate, kill, and lead to local government in Nigeria going into extinction. Senate accordingly resolves as follows. Number one, all the Accountant General of Federation and Honorable Minister of Finance to withhold the rules of allocation to any local government that goes to contravene this Supreme Court judgment, or undermine this Supreme Court judgment as it concerns the local government system. Two, urge all state House of Assembly to resist from passing or where they have already passed the laws to repeal any legislation that infringes upon the financial autonomy of local government as enshrines our Constitution as well as upheld by Supreme Court. Three, mandate the Attorney General of Federation or advise the let me use the word advise the Attorney General of Federation to immediately take legal action against any state government or state assembly found to be in violation of the Supreme Court decision as it concerns the local government autonomy. Direct the Senate Committee on Local Government, Anti-Corruption and Legislative Compliance to work closely with the Office of Attorney General of Federation, EFCC, ICPC and NFIU for them to enforce the Supreme Court judgment of 11th July 2024 that granted financial autonomy to local government, knowing fully well that this is one of the major legacy of this President Tinubu-led administration. Request the National Assembly Committee on Constitutional Review to review, where necessary, amend relevant section of the Constitution bordering on local government system and other laws to clarify and further strengthen our financial independence of the local government system and prevent further infractions by state governments and their legislative arms. Sixth, the call on Nigerian Financial Intelligence Units, Economic and Financial Crime Commission and ICPC to intensify its monitoring of local government funds to ensure that these funds are disbursed directly to local government accounts and not in turn remitted back to accounts managed by state governments or their proxies. And also for them to take steps to ensure that local government system or council chairmen are accountable for the resources they receive from federation accounts. Finally, I appeal to civil society organizations, media outlets, and public and general public to hold local governments accountable by raising awareness on the importance of local government autonomy and the detrimental effects of continual state interference and siphoning of the money. I so move, Mr. President. Thank you for this opportunity.
Distinguished colleagues, I rise to second this motion moved by Senator Tony Roye and also seek the leave of Mr. President to make my comment as well. Thank you, Mr. President.
Proceed.
Thank you. This motion has come at the very right time when the country is yearning for a change of attitude concerning the local government administration in Nigeria. We want to commend the executive for taking the initiative to go to Supreme Court to further guarantee the autonomy of local government in Nigeria. And you can see that the effort of that Supreme Court judgment is also yielding results to the extent that every state in Nigeria is now rushing to conduct local government election to qualify them to get their normal statutory allocation going to the local government. But the law did not say that the states should tamper with the funds going to the local government. It didn't say so. And the Supreme Court didn't also say so. So I want to support this motion by urging the Senate that if there is nothing this 10th Senate will achieve, it is this local government autonomy. I recalled in Kano 2 weeks ago when we had the retreat of Constitutional Review led by the Deputy Senate President. This issue of local government autonomy was one of the major issues that we discussed. Mr. President, in supporting this motion, I would like to recall that there is urgent need to amend Section 7 of 1999 Constitution as amended to further guarantee the autonomy of local government. This Constitution says that local government is the third tier of government. We have 3 tiers of government in Nigeria: the federal, the state, and local government. So local government should be allowed to exercise that responsibility of a third tier of government. And I believe that is what this nation should be talking about. So in any attempt of any state House of Assembly trying to make law that will now mandate this revenue coming to local governments to be controlled by another account before the money goes to the local government, I think is undermining the Supreme Court judgment. So they should allow local governments who have already conducted an election for these monies to be paid directly into the coffers of those local governments. So I believe that, Mr. President, when we come to the prayers, because there are so many prayers, I think the prayers shouldn't be more than 2. But when we come to the prayers, we'll also make an amendment to make it look more elegant. I so support Mr. President.
Mr. President, thank you, my dear and respected colleagues. I am Suleiman Abdurrahman Kau Sumaila Oyapar, representing Kano South Senatorial District from Kano.
There is point of order.
The name Muhammad Adamalu, representing the people of Kebbi Center. Mr. President, I come under constitutional point of order. Order 287. Section 287 of the Constitution. Section 287 of the Constitution. With your permission, Mr. President, I want to read.
Please proceed.
The decision of the Supreme Court shall be enforced in any part of the Federation by all authorities and persons and by courts with subordinate jurisdiction to that of the Supreme Court. Mr. President, I raise this point of order simply because the Supreme Court judgment, which distinguished Senator Tony Ray referred to, is a Supreme Court pronouncement. It's a decision of the court, and it must be enforced by all persons and authorities in Nigeria. So I believe discussing this issue will amount to overcrowding it, or overflowing the issue. So the court has already decided that the money of the local government councils should be released directly to the councils. And for us to start debating it, it's going against the spirit of the Constitution, since there is already a constitutional provision to that effect. Okay.
The point of order, the civil senator Alero, constitutional point of order. If I were to further assist the civil senator Alero, I will refer all of us to section 162, subsection 6 of the Nigerian Constitution. And with your permission, I'll read. Section 162, subsection 6 says, each state shall maintain a special account to be called State Joint Local Government Account, into which shall be paid such allocations to the local government councils of that state from the Federation account and from the government of the states. What that means is that we have a larger duty to do than to debate. So, in my experience as a former commissioner for local government, the state government also has a part of its monthly allocation, which it contributes to the local governments. So, in obeying the Supreme Court decision, we should also consider doing the needful legally to ensure that any state government that wishes to pay money to any local government has its own contribution to the running of the local government on a monthly basis, thus so directly to the local governments. But we must take cognizance of the need to tinker with section 162, subsection 6 of the Constitution. So the point of order is sustained.
Order. Order.
Yes,
I'm coming under order 42
of our Senate standing orders.
Please read.
By the indulgence of the Senate and leave of the President of the Senate, a senator may make a personal explanation although there be no question before the Senate, but no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor any debate arise upon the explanation. The terms of the proposed statement shall be submitted in detail to the President of the Senate when his leave to make it is sought. May I seek your permission, Mr. President?
Please proceed.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, before I presented my petitions before this distinguished House, I needed also to inform the House and the Senate President duly that because of the consistent refusal of some officers and DAs to attend meetings when they are called to attend our hearings, that I am going to be issuing a warrant of arrest to compel these erring officers to appear before the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petitions. So, Mr. President, I will seek your indulgence in this matter to allow the committee to do as is supposed to do in this regard. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, distinguished colleagues, Senator came under Order 42 just to inform the hallowed chambers that he has noticed some consistency in some heads of MDS to appear before the Committee on Public Petitions whenever they are called upon. And he wanted to inform us that he will proceed to utilize the powers of his committee to issue the necessary warrants to compel them to appear. What you are doing is not to ask us for permission. You are only informing us of your intention to do so. So your point of order is sustained. Yes, point of order.
I'm coming. My name is...
First of all, you know you have a motion before the floor. So we have to finish with your motion. So,
President, I'm coming by Order 42 of our standing rule. If you permit me, I can read, sir.
you have abandoned your motion?
What about my motion, sir?
No, we are on your motion.
Okay.
When to vote that, sir?
I want to make a personal explanation on the motion, sir.
No, we are on your motion. Let Senator Kawu help you.
Okay. It's on now. That's not my...
On the workings of the Senate in particular and the National Assembly in general. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the closed session? Leader of the Senate, rules to enable us to revisit without a written paper the earlier motion brought by Senator Tony Woye. Those in support of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So we can revisit. This is which leader of the Senate, you can go ahead. Discuss matters of urgent national importance. We were on the bill, on the motion by distinguished Senator Tony Woye on the creation of local government accounts by some 3 state governments, and and in an attempt to circumvent the Supreme Court decision that money should go directly to the accounts of local governments in the country. And so we have deliberated on it. We have come to the reasonable position that the Supreme Court of Nigeria is the final court of the land, and that they cannot make a pronouncement that would not be enforced. So in other words, the Nigerian Senate stands solidly behind the Supreme Court decision on its efforts to judicial pronouncement to sanitize the administration of local governments in the country and stop further abuse of local government funds. So we stand solidly behind the Supreme Court of Nigeria. In addition to that, we have looked at the motion and we agree that some of the prayers in the motion are such that could conflict with the existing regulations, including the Constitution. And accordingly, I will invite the Deputy Senate President to make prayers that we jointly agree upon that should go out there so that the press will be well guided. And nobody will go and say that Senate said this or said that, because we believe strongly that if there's any legacy that this administration will leave behind, including the 10th Senate, it is a legacy of sanitizing the local governments, ensuring that local government funds are well utilized for the benefit of the rural people, and at the same time, local governments are allowed to function and function well. That will also, in due course, include their elections. The Deputy Senate President, please proceed.
And based on the deliberation that was made by this August Senate in the just concluded executive session, I stand to move on behalf of this August Senate for the approval of two prayers in respect of the motion that was brought before this August Senate by Senator Tony Unwe, thereby discarding the earlier prayers in the motion as brought by him. The two prayers are as follows: all states and local governments to fully comply with the recent Supreme Court judgment on the disbursement and utilization of funds accruing to all local governments in Nigeria. Prayer 2. Okay.
Senator Ningi, he has moved in respect of the earlier discussed motion that all states and local government should immediately comply with the recently pronounced judgment of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Any seconder?
My name is I rise to support the motion heavily canvassed and moved by the Deputy Senate President that all that the Supreme Court resolution must be obeyed by all parties in Nigeria. I so moved.
Thank you. The motion has been proposed in respect of the earlier discussed motion by the Deputy Senate President, Prayer 1, saying that all states, all tiers of government in the Federation should immediately comply with the recently pronounced judgments of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, particularly relating to local government accounts, and then the funds of local government going directly to the local governments for its utilization to improve the lot of Nigerians.